China represents a tremendous security threat to the United States. That's what we'll talk about in today's video. And it's a security threat not based on anything other than theft of our technology, access to our military plans, stealing our military secrets. It's a threat that's almost a mirror image, because essentially they're stealing from us and they're confronting us with our own technology. Let me give you a couple of examples. We talk about this at length in our book, Screwed, how foreign countries are ripping us off, plundering our economy, and how our leaders are helping them to do it. One thing which we wrote about in a column last week from Screwed is China has placed cookies on our electric grid, which permit it to access the electric grid anytime it wants to, and to disable it simply by clicking a key on their computer. We've been worried about the electromagnetic pulse, which we've talked about in these videos. That's that if somebody explodes a nuclear device over the United States in the atmosphere, it can jam all of our power grid, and literally we'd be without electricity for weeks or months, and could be just horrific in its implications. Well, China doesn't have to explode a bomb. They can simply push a button or flick a switch and do that to us. And we've been unable to figure out how they did it, or how to counter it, or how to disable it. It's cyber warfare carried to the ultimate degree. And when General Electric wanted to locate businesses in China and produce planes from China, the head of General Electric is the head of Obama's Jobs Council, and they wanted to move their airplane manufacturing business to China. China said, okay, but you have to take a Chinese partner and you have to give him all of your technology. And GE did that. So China now knows the most complicated avionics systems there are, about how to pilot planes, how to steer them, how to use them in combat, remotely piloted aircraft. All of our technology, which was largely developed by GE on a Defense Department contract, is now in Chinese hands. The Chinese have hacked our military computers. They hacked the computer at the Naval War College. They even hacked Gates's personal computer when he was Secretary of Defense. And the counterintelligence people in the United States estimate that China has downloaded so much of our military information and secrets that they've downloaded in sum a quantity of computer information larger than the entire Library of Congress, just to give you an idea of the magnitude of what's going on here. And China is no longer the moving to the right regime that it had been under Deng Xiaoping. There's increasing evidence of China moving to the left. It's increasing its socialism, it's increasing the state share of the economy, cutting back the private share. The stimulus money that China spent to avoid going into the recession was mainly to state-owned enterprises, not to private enterprises. And China militarily is also moving to the left to begin to be a counter to the United States. And why is Obama letting them get away with this? Why is he just letting them raid our stuff? He claims that what he's working on is trying to protect us with cybersecurity. But that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to go to China and tell them, stop this stuff, or we're not going to buy your goods anymore. Your entire economy is dependent on $400 billion a year of products that we buy from China. China's GDP is about $5 trillion. So almost 7 or 8% of it is dependent on sales to the United States. By contrast, our GDP is 15 trillion, and we buy only 50 million from them, a tenth of 1% or 2/10. So we could absolutely devastate the Chinese economy in a trade war. And if the United States literally holds China's survival in its hands, and if we went to them and said, we are going to impose serious trade restrictions each time one of our computers gets hacked, and each time we discover that something's going on, we'll assume that it's you. We can't ever prove that it's you, but the technology required to hack these computers could only really come from a nation state. All the computer experts agree on that. So why doesn't the United States get tough with China? Romney will. He's talked a lot about that. Obama absolutely hasn't. And this has not been going on for a long time. This is a relatively recent phenomenon. We document it chapter and verse in Screwed. It's one of the big contributions that I think this book is going to make to an understanding of our national security. So please pick up a copy of Screwed. It's been doing very well. Thank you for buying it.